Hi, my name is Oleksandr, and in this video I want to show you a program I developed. This program is called TSFP. It stands for Table of SolidWorks File Properties. This program is designed for design engineers who work with SolidWorks to automate some processes in their workflow. The program was created in several versions. The first version was developed in 2015 for a company that manufactured metal processing equipment and was used by a small team of design engineers. I improved the program over the following years, and it is still in use today. To explain how TSFP works, I need to give a brief overview of how some SolidWorks functions works. SolidWorks has three main types of files for working: a 3D part, a 3D assembly, and a drawing. A 3D assembly is mainly designed to contain 3D parts and other 3D assemblies. A drawing is used for preparing documentation and perfectly displays information about 3D parts and 3D assemblies. Let's divide the information in two main types. The first type is graphical information, meaning the shape of part. The second type is textual data about the part, such as weight, dimensions, name, etc. Each model has file properties. These properties are great too. They can be used to exchange information between different types of documents. Now I'm adding a position parameter to the 3D model of a part. This property is now available in other documents that contain this part. Now I open a drawing that includes the modified part. I can now add a node, and in the node I insert a reference to the position property. I can also add a table with a list of parts, and in the table I can also display the position property. The main purpose of the TSFP is to work with the file properties. The program allows you to work with the multiple files at the same time. To start working, you need to load data, which can be loaded from files on the disk or from files that are already open in SolidWorks. If the models have the file properties, the program will display them. Right now the model have no data, so the TSFP table is almost empty. I open a model and go to the file properties. There is nothing here. After loading the data, we can modify the properties in the table. The modified values are highlighted in green. For convenience, the program has an option to enable part view. You can see that the some cells in the file name column are highlighted in yellow. If the file name contains the word ISO or DIN, such a part may be a standard component. In this case, the program highlights them in yellow for users' attention. The column with the original file names also can have color markings, which means that the program has found drawings for these models. In this way, you can quickly see which models have drawings and which do not. The TSFP has many built-in automated scenarios for filling in the table. Also, keep in mind that the program applies actions only for selected rows and selected cells. The name designer allows you to quickly fill in the table based on a template. We select the column where the changes will be applied. Let's fill in the data using a counter. As you can see, the counter takes into account leading 0 and the starting value. Changes are applied only to rows where cells are selected. You can also construct values based on other data. Here, I add the file name to the template, or I can simply enter text manually. Now I can apply character replacement. For example, I replace 0 with minus. I can also remove a certain number of characters from the beginning and end of a string. Next, I can fill in the dimensions of parts. The TSFP will open the part, read the size, and save them in the properties. Now I open a part, and as you can see, the dimensions are already in the files. Here I can fill in the author's name. The program will remember the name and will always use it. Next, I can set the date. The date format can be chosen in the settings. If I choose to fill the material, weight, volume, or surface area, the program will write formulas. Values with the formulas will be calculated automatically if the model will be changed. When the table is filled, we need to select the cells for which we want to save data. Then press Ctrl+S. And the TSFP will write this data to the models. Values that contain formulas will be calculated and added to the table. Now, if we open the assembly drawing, we can see all this data. For example, I insert a table and display some of these values. There is also a column that displays the number of parts in the assembly. This column will be filled in if an assembly was loaded. The program also supports materials from SolidWorks libraries. Here, we see several available libraries. When a library is selected, materials from that library are loaded. There is also a search by material name. Now I select the models in the table to change materials and apply the new material. There is also an option to view all models' properties. We can delete unnecessary ones or even delete all the data. Here you can mark identical values, check dimensions without overwriting values, or check weight and other parameters. The program can also change the standard for models and drawings. Here is where they are located in the model. The standard determines localization, meaning in which system values are displayed, such as meters or inches, how weight are displayed, how many decimal places are shown, and much more. As you can see, there are many different parameters. After setting these parameters, you can save them to a separate file. Then we can select this file in the TSFP settings. Now we can quickly change the standard for all models. I apply the standard changes. Now I open the model, and as you can see, the standard has already changed in the settings. In the same way, the program can change drawing templates. Here you can search for all text in the drawing and change their values. This is useful when working with large drawings. Here you can automatically create drawings for models. For convenience, there are additional functions for working with the table. Different types of sorting, several ways to select cells for work. For example, you can select only parts or only assemblies, select only modified cells, or invert the selection. You can also select by value in the cells or by color. Another feature is that you can select multiple cells, start typing text, and when finished, all selected cells will have the entered value. And finally, after learning how to use the program and fully configuring it, you can fill in the table in fully automatic mode. If needed, you can export the data to Excel. The TSFP program was written in C# language. Thank you for watching.